If you ever wanted a backyard gazebo without spending thousands of dollars, this project could be for you. Today we're building a simple 12 by 12 sloped roof gazebo over this swing to provide shade, protect it from the weather, and create the perfect place to relax. Today I'm going to show you exactly how we built this. By the end of this video, I'll show you every step of the build, from setting the post, cutting the rafters, to installing the steel roof, and I'll show you the finished gazebo when we get done. Don't assume your concrete pad is square. Ours definitely wasn't. We opted to put posts in the ground for this project. The first order of business was to drive a broom handle in each one of the four corners and get them as square as possible on the uneven ground. Before any digging project, be sure to call your state's local dig number to get the utilities marked. In our state, it's 811. With only 4 holes to dig, we dug them by hand. That was both a good and bad idea, depending on how you look at it. 3 of the 4 holes had tree roots that needed special attention to get the holes dug. We started at one closest to the tree. The good news with that was, the last hole we dug did not have any roots to contend with. A post hole like this should be 3 times the diameter of the post. So using a 3.5 inch post, we should have a 10.5 inch diameter hole. Try to taper it out towards the bottom. By doing this, that helps with the frost heave. We also set our holes at least 32 inches deep for this area. Each post received one 80-pound bag of pre-mixed concrete. We mixed it to about the consistency of pancake batter, then worked it around the post with a broom handle to eliminate air pockets. Check each post for plumb before the concrete sets. It was later in the afternoon by the time we were finished. We probably could have continued the next day. We decided it would probably be better if we gave the concrete an extra day to cure. Better safe than sorry, you know. Plus, it didn't hurt to have a rest for my old back. We found some brackets that are made to set on top of the post to hold the headers in place. The headers are 2x8s nailed together. Then they were lifted up on top of the post. Then they were nailed or screwed to the brackets. The back header was made to have about a 6.5 foot of clearance, so you could walk under it. We set the front header at 7.5 feet and the back at 6.5 feet. That gave us just over a 112 roof pitch, which is just enough for water to run off while keeping the roof looking nice and low. Next, it was time to figure out the angle on the ends and the bird's mouth, the part of the rafter that sits square on the header. Cut one rafter first and use it as a template. It's great to have a lot of help, one crew to cut rafters and another to install them. Before installing them, I marked where they went on top of the beams. Thinking ahead, we decided to install 2 double rafters to help with any swings in the future that might need a sturdier place to hang from. The rafters on this project were placed on 2-foot centers, with the double rafters centered 4 feet apart for a swing and centered in the middle of the roof. After all the rafters were on, we installed the fascia boards. We cut the rafters so after the fascia boards were installed, we would have a perfect 12 by 12 foot box. Fascia diagonally across one corner to the next to make sure that we have a square frame. After the rafters were on, we took 2x6s and cut 45-degree angles on both ends of them. We put one going each direction off of all 4 posts. That really helped sturdy up the structure. Next, we installed the purlins or battens. It mostly provided a nailing surface to install the metal roof panels to. We used 4x4s flat and made a square box with them. We double-checked everything to make sure it was square before we fastened it down to the rafters. That way we shouldn't have any problems with the steel roof being square. The roof is a square 12 by 12 foot area. The steel roof panels are 3 feet across and 12 feet long. 4 panels roof the entire thing, nice and quick. A mental note here, on a windy day, be sure to secure your camera tripod down somehow. So that's why there's not any video of the next 2 panels going up, but they were fastened with the painted to match self-tapping sheet metal screws that are made for this type of project, just like everything else was. These panels are made to cover 3 feet at a time and overlap on the last rib to have a weatherproof joint. That extra part needed to be trimmed off of the last section. Then the last roof panel was fastened into place. The next step is to finish the project off. We installed eave and edge trimming that really set the project off, made it look nice when you got finished. The corners, the eave and the edge trim pieces, usually come about 6 inches longer than what your roofing panels are. That way you have 3 inches on each end that you can be trimming up and covering up the corners, making them look pretty sharp. So if you remember, here is what this area looked like before we began this project. And after a few days of hard work, here's how everything turned out. I think this gazebo turned out great, and now this swing has shade all afternoon, even though the swing hadn't quite made its way back up here yet. If this project gave you ideas for your own backyard, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe to Ray's Toolbox. We've got plenty more woodworking, DIY, and home improvement projects coming up. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.